Assalamu alaikum. This is Pratusha Burwal welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. National Martyred Army Day being observed today. President and Prime Minister paid tribute to martyrs at Banani graveyard. UAE Ambassador calls on Information and Broadcasting Minister expresses strong bilateral relations. US Fitra fixed at minimum of 110 taka per person and maximum of 2,805 taka. Strict action to be taken if prices increased, or 3 syndicate, warns Chattogram City Mayor. Long queues of vehicles in traffic congestions cause sufferings to common people in the port city of Chattogram. America's golden age begins, claims US President in his State of the Union address. And New Zealand facing Sri Lanka in Super 8 stage of ICC T20 World Cup in Colombo. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. The National Martyred Army Day was observed with due dignity today, commemorating the 70th martyrdom anniversary of the army officers who were killed in the 2009 BDR carnage. A release of the Inter-Services Public Relations ISPR Directorate said, on the occasion, President Mohammed Shahabuddin and Prime Minister Tarique Rahman paid rich tribute to the martyred soldiers and officers of the paramilitary border security forces at the Banani graveyard this morning. A total of 74 people, including 57 army officers, the then Bangladesh Rifles BDR DG, were killed during the carnage at the Pilkhana headquarters on February 25 and 26 of 2009. Earlier on February 23 of 2025, the government declared February 25 as National Martyred Army Day to honor the sacrifices of army officers who lost their lives in the Pilkhana tragedy. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, chiefs of the 3 services, Army, Navy and Air Force, Director General of the Border Guard Bangladesh BGB, and members of the martyrs' families paid their deepest respects to the memory of the soldiers. After paying homage, a 1-minute silence was observed in solemn respect for the martyrs, while the serving members of the armed forces were honored, said the ISPR release. Subsequently, Fatiha and Dua were offered seeking forgiveness, divine blessings and eternal peace for the departed souls, as well as welfare for the nation and its people. Special prayers were held in the mosques of armed forces of the country on the occasion, the ISPR added. On the occasion of National Martyred Army Day, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir paid tribute on behalf of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP by placing wreaths at the Banani military graveyard this morning in memory of the army officers martyred in the Pilkhana massacre. Central leaders of the BNP and its associate organizations were present at the time. After paying tribute, BNP Secretary General and LGRT Minister Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said that the Pilkhana killings were a disgraceful incident for the country and that a fair trial would be ensured through a neutral investigation. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed said that no new investigation commission will be formed regarding the BDR mutiny. He added that the incident was a threat to the country's independence and sovereignty and that weakening the army was its primary objective. The BNP government's family card distribution project is set to be launched on March 10, Social Welfare Minister Dr. AZM Zahid Hussain has announced. The pilot phase of this government assistance programs will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister Tarique Rahman. The government has decided to implement the project on a trial basis before Eid. In this regard, a 15-member cabinet committee made the final decision on February 24. Through this project, around 5 crore families across the country will be brought under direct state assistance. Notably, the family card will be issued in the name of female members of the families. Under the program, beneficiaries will receive 2,500 taka per month. In the first phase, the Social Security card will be distributed to extremely poor and poor families in selected upazilas of 14 districts across the country. A review meeting was held to assess the progress of projects being implemented under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The meeting took place today in the conference room of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapwan and State Minister Yasir Khan Chaudhry attended the meeting. Discussions focused on the progress of projects included in the revised Annual Development Programme for the 2025-26 under the Ministry, with implementation updates reviewed up to January 2026. Heads of the relevant departments and project directors under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting also participated in the review meeting. This year, the minimum fitra rate has been fixed at 110 taka, while the maximum rate at 2,805 taka per person. The decision was taken at the National Fitra Fixation Committee meeting held in the conference room of the Islamic Foundation at Baitul Mukarram National Mosque in the capital this morning. An Islamic Foundation press release said, President of National Fitra Fixing Committee and Khatib of Baitul Mukarram National Mosque, Maulana Mufti Abdul Malik, presided over the meeting. As per the Islamic law, the fitra can be paid with any other food items like flour, barley, raisins, dates, and cheese. The fitra has been fixed as per the current market price of flour, barley, dates, raisins, and cheese collected from all the divisions. The Muslims can pay the fitra according to his financial capacity with any particular item or the current market price of these food items. Among others, members of Islamic Foundation Board of Governors Maulana Mahfuzul Haq, Director of Department of Dye and Culture at the Foundation Dr. Muhammad Harunur Rashid and Mufti Maulana Muhammad Abdullah were present at the meeting. Chattogram City Corporation Mayor Dr. Shahabuddin Hussain warned that strict action will be taken if the prices of goods are increased by creating syndicate in the market. He gave this warning while visiting the country's largest wholesale market at Khatunganj in the city, along with City Corporation officials and executive magistrates today. The city mayor said the market's prices have remained stable this year. The City Corporation will continue to monitor the market to prevent manipulation. During this time, many shopkeepers were warned for not keeping the price list of their products in the shop, urging the country's businessmen to be inspired by the reduction in the prices of goods in other countries of the world during the month of Ramadan. The city mayor said strict action will be taken if prices are increased through creating syndicate. During the market monitoring, the executive magistrate said their activities will continue. Later, the city mayor exchanged views with the businessman leaders of Khatunganj wholesale market. Now, international news. US President Donald Trump has delivered a record-breaking 1 hour and 47-minute State of the Union address in which he hailed a golden age of America, claimed the economy was roaring like never before, and insisted his tariffs would remain in place. Trump said he would prefer to resolve the standoff with Iran with diplomacy, but made a veiled threat that he would never allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. On immigration, he insisted the country's southern border was secure, but he avoided talking about the killing of American citizens protesting against immigration raids. Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi has said a deal with the United States to avert conflict is within reach, in advance of talks between the two countries in Geneva, Switzerland. Araghchi said that the historic opportunity to strike an unprecedented agreement whether diplomacy is given priority in a possible reference to U.S. President Donald Trump's ongoing threats to use military force against Iran. In a statement shared on social media on Tuesday, Iran's top diplomat added that his country remained crystal clear that it would under no circumstances ever develop a nuclear weapon, while also recognizing the right of Iran's people to the benefits of peaceful nuclear technology. Indirect talks scheduled for Thursday in Geneva will be the third round of discussions between Washington and Tehran, mediated by Oman, which has said it hopes to see a positive push to go the extra mile towards finalizing the deal. At least 30 people have died in the southeastern Brazilian state of Minas Gerais after heavy rains on Monday evening caused floods and several landslides. Most deaths were reported in the city of Juiz de Fora and Juba. Rescue operations are ongoing, with workers and residents searching for dozens of people reported missing after several homes and buildings collapsed overnight. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva sent his deepest condolences to the families of the victims and those who lost their homes. He also said that the government has declared a state of calamity in Juiz de Fora. Back to national news. Traffic congestion is becoming more severe day by day in the port city of Chattogram. Everyone from office goers to students and common pedestrians are facing extreme sufferings every day. Long queues of vehicles are seen every day on important roads of the city. Commuters are stuck with working hours wasted and mental stress increased. Dewanhat and Tiger Pass intersections in the port city of Chattogram are now another name for traffic congestion. Even though the elevated expressway has been opened for traffic, the sufferings on the roads has not reduced even a little. Rather, due to mismanagement at the intersections, traffic is seen stagnant for hours. On one side, Kodumtoli and DT Road, on the other side, the junction of Agrabad and Patinga Dewanhat intersection. The pressure of vehicles here makes the city's residents gasp for breath all day long. The chaotic turns of vehicles moving under the flyover and the frequent boarding and disembarking of passengers have made the congestion here permanent. The sufferings of Tiger Pass began as soon as the Dewanhat intersection was cut. This scenic road surrounded by hills has now become an illegal bus and minibus stand. Under the pressure of cars coming from Lalkhan Bajar and lorries coming from Dewanhat, this intersection has become one of the bottlenecks in the city. Locals complain that the congestion is mainly due to the occupation of footpaths by the hawkers at the Dewanhat intersection and the buses stopping for a long time at the Tiger Pass intersection to pick up passengers. Although the traffic department blames the manpower shortage, the common people claim that uncoordinated development is the root of this crisis.